You throw it in before you go.
RPG Research is the one who posts that tweet.
It stays warm.
It should automatically come through RPG Research.
It has like a, I don't know if it like keeps the charge and keeps warming itself up, or if it just because it's just that conductive.
Well, hello and welcome to RPG Research. This is our once per week administrative meeting from about 6 p.m. to 6:45, some p.m. It depends. Sometimes it's 30. And then the rest of it we switch over to either RPG theory or applied gaming. I'm sorry about the heat, everybody. This is what happens if I forget to turn on the heaters about 6 to 8 hours before.
We'll be able to speak
I have seen a couple of warehouses out there around the $600, $650, $700 range that were about 2,000 square feet, so they were big enough for the bus and the trailer, and about a 500, 700 foot. So they were about around 2,000 square feet total. Around 500, 700 square feet office space, and then the rest is warehouse, which would be just large enough to fit the bus and trailer. But I haven't heard back yet if they have 12-foot doors, which we have to have for the trailer to fit. We only need 10-foot doors for the bus, we need 12-foot doors for the trailer. But they're in that's about the budget I could scrape. You know, about $600 to $700 a month, and they're out there. They exist. We're getting them, but most of them, the warehouse is not heated. And the office probably isn't big enough for the studio, but it might be. Well, it might depend. If it's just an open office thing, that could be the studio. We'll see. But I am working on it. Before I get married, I want to try to have all this moved out. She's not going to move in right away, but I want to at least try to have everything out of here. Anyway, so this is our administrative meeting. We kind of talk about what we're doing this week, this month, and this year going forward. And any updates from the past week. And we check in with Brooke, who we are so fortunate to have helping us with a lot of these administrative things. So, Brooke, you want to... Thank you, Brooke. Brooke, you want to go ahead and start with whatever your agenda items are?
Sure. I just wanted to check in. Do you have the paperwork? Did Solomon send his paperwork to you?
Solomon?
Yeah.
Did he not, I have not met him in person, so it would have been through email. So he didn't send me anything. I haven't heard from him since I sent that email.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure, because I know he's got on the list for verified volunteers, that I wasn't missing it.
Yeah, because he's the system administrator, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which I sorely need to, but it's going to take me weeks or months to train him. Yeah, so follow up, see where he's at. I was wondering about that. So definitely follow up on Solomon. There was also the copy editor, what's her name, who was very stoked about what we're doing. So she was also a new hire last week. Did I forget to send a request on that?
I don't think I have that, no.
All right. Send me an email about the copy editor / social network manager type. So her degree is like in communications, marketing, and writing or something like that. So she's out of school and wants to do and is a gamer and is very excited. Actually, I think she's supposed to come today. Let me find my phone because I heard my phone beeping.
I heard your phone beep a couple times.
Yeah.
There's someone who's going to be 20 to 30 minutes late.
Blake might be.
Okay.
That might be the name. As I said, I was getting the social network up because people are getting added so quickly, and I'm the only one who actually talks to everybody, and I'm losing track. So, because we're at 48.
Well, it can't be easy with the 3 phones.
Yeah, well, and 5 businesses.
Okay. By the way, Hawkeye dug in and confirmed that I am number 47.
You are 47. Okay, great.
Okay. Oh, you need
Okay,
this.
so that was Shane that was saying he was running a little late. Let's see if she's on any of the others here.
Is that a new book you just got? Because I just picked it up too.
Which one?
Or the
Backgrounds?
character background?
Yeah. I mean, we were discussing it last week on the show and stuff.
Oh, well, I just bought it this weekend.
Yeah, and then we've got another one as well, Improv for Gamers. We'll talk about that during our theory and
for
gamers. Improv is gamers. What are you talking about?
I only got one chapter into that one book, so this is really interesting.
Yeah. Well, it's as Shane and I, and as we talked about, the DMG has a lot of those things. The original first edition has most of those features in a straight table, but for newbies, it's a great prompt.
I like the captains.
It's fun. It's a fun little thing, and it helps both GMs for NPCs as well as player characters. Kind of voicemail.
And also good for aspiring writers.
Sure, yeah, any characters you want to make, definitely. Okay. I'm checking if... come on. Too many... Two new voicemails. Trying to keep up here. Okay, so that's a spammer. Yeah, just spammers. Okay. All right. So, yeah, I don't have anything from her. I'd given her the info to try to show up here to check things out before she committed. That's why you don't have it. She was going to come here to kind of check things out first to see, and it wasn't clear if it was going to be Monday or Thursday or something. So she may or may not be coming. Yeah. So we'll see. By the way, a heads up on Jitsi. I don't know if you tried to get on here earlier. So I've been running it on a development server for others I was helping. Well, that server is now being worked on for another project, so it's not reliable now. So, we were using it while it was not being used, so I got to get Jitsi set up on a new server here, which hopefully, if it's running here at the house, might actually make it run better. Instead of bandwidth both directions, it'll just be bandwidth one direction. So we'll see how that works. But a lot of infrastructure stuff to do there. But in the future, the URL is going to be meet, MEET, not MEAT, MEET.rpgresearch.com instead of C4. So we're going from explosive to meeting.
Back to the old one.
Yeah, it's a different server, but it'll be the old URL. Yeah, I mean it's a more normal one. Okay, what else do you have?
So week ahead, I have MDA support group is meeting on Wednesday. I'll be there, and then drop in and play on Friday.
So MDA is this Wednesday. All right. I want to try to make it. Are you able to make it, Danielle?
Probably not.
Okay, John.
What time?
So my schedule.
6:30 to 8 or 6 to 7:30 or 6
That's
to 8?
PM.
7:30.
Yeah.
6 to 7:30. Yeah, PM. PM.
Wednesday.
Yeah, 6 p.m. to 7. You're running your Wednesday group. That's right.
Yeah.
In fact, won't Shane be there? with
Yeah,
you?
we're going to be assisting him starting this week.
Okay.
So.
I will try to make it this time. I can't promise, but I'm going to try. My back and lungs are slowly getting better, so slowly back up. But we'll see. It's still a little up and down. But if I'm breathing okay and my back's not killing me, if I had 2 full a day, I will try to make it out to that. I'm so sorry about the last one that I just was not up for. Boy, that was a really bad relapse. I was supposed to bring the light drumming stuff out to them last month, and was not doing well after the PAX
party,
thing. Right? Yeah. How did that go last month?
Well, it was fine. We just did our little gift exchange and then kind of hung out like normal.
Right. I don't have it to do this month because I just dropped off the trailer Friday to get warranty work done again. Well, so one is the leaky roof that I've been complaining to them about since almost day one got worse on the road trip. Now there's a stain in the corner where it soaked two mattresses over time. It's always just a little leak.
Right.
And it's only like if I'm on a tilt and there's snow and the weight is just right, because they poured water all over it and couldn't replicate it. But it's gotten worse, and so that means there's probably rotting going on this brand new trailer, and it's only 2 years old. So it's in there for that, and the CO kept going off, and when I turned off the propane, eventually it stopped. So there might be, and the only thing running is the fridge, so there might be a slight propane leak now. So I'm having them look at both of those serious issues. In addition to fixing the little broken flap over the little vent over the bathroom broke during the road trip. I was on Cedar City, Utah. I don't know if any of you know Cedar City. It's like a major Shakespearean festival place during the summer, and you know, it's a resort community. It's a small town in the middle of Utah, but I was on Main Street and I hit a branch with the trailer, and that broke the little thing on the vent over the bathroom, and so I had to tape that up and such. Bizarre.
Is that covered by warranty?
No. Luckily, it's not an expensive item.
Right.
So, I mean, technically, yes, I have bumper-to-bumper even damage protection, but it's not worth it, because after $100 deductible and all the paperwork, it's better just... it's like the jacks. It's like I could do it, but they cost about $100, so I'm just going to replace those jacks.
You can get better jacks anyways.
Well, the better ones are about $1,000 for a pair.
I just thought you were going to get stronger ones.
Well, so I looked into that, and they're, other than going to the automatic ones, there really aren't any.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'll do some more searching on Amazon and such, but as far as what they offer, there isn't an upgrade.
Just don't order them on Wish.
What's that?
Just don't order them on Wish.
On Wish?
Wish is like the worst website.
It's
Chinese
not familiar.
knockoff.
Everything's a Chinese knockoff.
Okay. By the way, if you do shop on Amazon, go to smile.amazon.com. Do it. Do it right now. And select a charity and pick RPG Research. And we will be there. We are listed. You know, we've been there for some months. And is that Carla?
Yep. Okay. I'm going to go carry your stuff in.
Okay.
Do you want more help?
And a small percentage of everything you buy, as long as you go to smile.amazon.com, you have to keep shopping through Smile. If you don't select Smile every time, they don't count it. But Amazon will it doesn't cost you anything extra, but like 0.004 whatever percent will eventually go to as a donation to RPG Research. So be aware. So that's where the trailer is. But when I get the trailer back, Brooke, I'd like to. If you've got anybody, you're saying some of the folks there probably aren't adventurous enough to try. But if you know some folks with various electric wheelchairs and such that are willing to try out the ramp in normal mode rather than the extended, I really need to know what the limit is on that from some people who can tell me. So if you can just kind of ask around a little bit over time, I'd appreciate it. Okay. So, and then yes, this Friday is drop-in and RPG at the library. Is this the third Friday? Yep. So we'll be at the North Spokane County Library. So, and I think Shane will be joining us. So it'll be more than just John and I. And we get a trickle of people. You know, we get the dragon set up, and the kids love that. Play with the tongue, and then come in. And we've had a few people play No Thank You Evil and such so far, which is great. So that's going on this Friday, 4 to 7 p.m. at the North Spokane County Library on Hawthorne, just east of Division. What else?
That was, and then just, I didn't know if anybody had given any thought to the request we made last week, whether for a conference that maybe we could apply to attend, or for some of the fundraising social media requests we had asked for by supporting our community to our support.
I could only make out part of what you said. The fundraising activity. Everybody, you're talking about the social networking and such.
Yeah.
Yeah. So on the shows, I was telling everybody and reminding people to be more engaged. And Lillian and Riley, our younger volunteers, did engage. Hello, welcome.
On that note,
Yes.
Trent will probably tell you more about it, but
GM gets to get a shortcut. You don't have
he
to
wants
roll it.
to.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Just Trent. I mean, he'll talk about this more on Wednesday, but he is really
only
stoked
because
to
I
help boost the social media presence. So
Excellent.
like I said, I don't want to steal his thunder. He'll tell you more about that.
Great.
Who'll do what?
Understanding his lights.
My son wants to tackle the social media thing, boosting our presence and whatnot. So we appreciate all the help. Now,
Is that better, Carla?
Yes, thank you.
You bet. We've got enough. The cameras What?
Well, and the main
Still.
light is looking at us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That should be fine.
Okay. Okay, good. That'll be, yeah. Anything anybody can do to help boost the signal will help. Let's see what else happened regarding that.
The only other thing I had was if anybody had a conference suggestion, as we had talked about.
Oh, yeah, right.
I wrote that down and then next year in January.
Is
I
that-
still got to look up Pulper Cultural Association.
Yeah, PCACA. That's next year as well, right?
More than likely.
Mm-hmm.
Well, April 17th is the next one.
Right. So.
Submit a proposal.
Right.
I've only been to 2 cons in my entire life, and they're both in the Tri-Cities, so I don't have much information that way.
Had fun?
Now,
Yes, rad.
Well, we're trying to apply for 3 fan conventions and 3 professional conferences, and then go to 2 of each. Because unless others can go, we can do more. But I swore to my fiance years ago that I would not do more than 4 out of town things.
If we get something towards the end of the year, I could probably go. I just want to make sure that, I'm not going up there and people ask me questions and be like,
Right. Yeah, let's get your RPG advocacy training first.
Yeah, maybe call Hawk.
Yeah, that's what the advocacy training is
Right,
for.
right.
And with the RPG and RPG.education. Okay, you still can't get into it.
I think
Your-
I don't.
your
I don't think I
data is all
have the
there.
wrong. I have the wrong email address.
Well, I sent you a reset request, so you could just
Oh,
reset
I
it.
didn't get
All right, we can do that again. John, did you try it again?
I haven't tried to get in there since we last discussed
Okay.
it. I do want to point out on Twitter.
Yes.
Since I haven't gotten a post yet from us.
Still didn't announce.
I announced it. RPG Research. We
Okay.
are live with Twitch Research Weekly Administrative
Okay.
Meeting, and then we'll play Doctor Who. And then the icon that comes up there when you put in the website says that it is a weekly meeting Tuesday to 9 a.m. at noon Pacific. So it's not even telling the local stuff.
That's the old one. Yeah. Anyway, I keep telling Pyro it's not working right, but
Okay.
I need to spend time and go through it. I've got too much. So
Time is
I can't
time.
Let him do it. Yeah. Okay. Back to about conferences. You said you had one for next year.
Yeah, it was in January. I mentioned it on the thing.
What was it?
I think it was the APA. It's a convention for corrections facilities.
Okay.
And I thought that.
Oh, that's
since our
right. For next year,
focus
right?
that-
This year for 2019. We're
Yeah,
prisons,
it's January. It's like the second weekend in January.
Okay.
Every year is what it looked like it
Okay.
was.
Well, that's a good one for next year. Anything else for this year? Did anybody come up with anything else?
There is a regional conference for the National Association of Therapeutic Schools and Programs in June in Bend, Oregon.
Okay, that's not a bad one. That would be worth trying to get on a panel or presentation or something for. Do you know what its attendance numbers are?
I don't. I just
Okay.
found it before our meeting. So
All right.
I'm gonna do
You
a
wanna-
little more digging.
I think that's totally appropriate for us if you want to delve into that and find out
Okay.
what the numbers are and what the process is, and if it's fairly, like, if they take submissions or if they lay out the like some of these conferences, there's a board that just sets everything, and others they take submissions. So if they don't take submissions, then there's not much point, right? Because then all you get to do is listen to them. So make sure they take submissions, and yeah. So research that one. That would be an appropriate one for us to do.
I almost wonder with our show if we wouldn't qualify for the big Twitch conference in
TwitchCon?
California. Yeah.
We don't have a fall. You need to have an audience. If you don't have an audience, you don't get. They don't care.
I didn't know what our audience was from
It's
the one I left.
it's next to nothing.
Okay.
A lot more people watch the recorded version later through Patreon and stuff than the live stuff. We don't have much of a live audience. When we were on Spartan Show and such, we were front page on Twitch, but we don't have. It's because we get into dry technical stuff and everything. And Twitch, that's not really the best audience for that. So before Raise, I switched back and forth between YouTube and Twitch, and that was just too much of a pain in the rear. So we're just doing it over Twitch, even though it's really only the right audience on Sundays, and then when we're doing applied gaming Mondays and Thursdays, the rest of the time, Twitch audience couldn't care
Well,
less.
that's what I was thinking was for our Sunday group thing.
Yeah,
we
but
had,
we get like in our peak, I think we had 65 viewers or something on our best day, and that was when we were being rated. So, yeah, not much, but
Well, I was planning on going through all my contacts and reinvigorating my nerd herd from days gone by and say, hey, by the way, I'm doing this thing now. Watch me and laugh. You know?
okay, cool. Yeah,
So that might
it's
get us
going to
10 more
build
followers.
as we get a social network manager and copy editor on board. People who can actually focus on helping us do this a few hours each week. It'll go up. We had better numbers when I was spending time doing that, but now I'm trying to do everything else, and that's had gone by the wayside. But we'll get there as we get volunteers on board.
So, bottleneck.
Yeah, which I'm trying to address. So the other one is the is of course ATRA for next year as well, but that's next year. And then of course we already know we're going to try to apply to Gen Con and Emerald City Comic Con and PAX West.
Yes.
I think that's our
It was
big.
PAX West.
I think that's our big three on the fan side. So it's just finding a
Because
couple
we're
of
trying to stay on
professional
the West
conferences.
Coast for now.
And it looks
Yeah, 'cause
like
of cost,
most of
yeah.
those happen between January and February.
They're all over the place. A
A
lot of them are in the
a lot of the
fall.
ones I saw were.
Do you need to talk about Token Moot?
Oh yes, thank you, Brooke. Help me remember this, because Tolkien Moot is our annual convention, a gaming convention, and it's a great chance for all of our GMs. Carla was at it recently. For our GMs to get to be in a very small but convention-like setting in training for the bigger ones. So for Danielle, she got to do Tolkien Moot before she had to go do Spokon, and that is a good stepping stone from little, here to the community centers, then the bus and trailer in various places to Tolkien Moot to Spokon to Gen Con, Spokon to Gen Con, a little bit of a jump.
The Doctor Goes to Middle Earth.
Yeah, so Tolkien Moot, I've been reminded both by John and Brian. We did our Ent Crawl Friday. I don't know if you know about our Ent Crawls. It's the world's slowest pub crawl. Don't be hasty. So, entcrawl.com. So Brian and I have been for a few years now, every few months, going to a new pub each time and getting 2 flights and comparing and taking notes, and as we've tried to educate ourselves, because we were completely ignorant about beers and ales and all, and ciders and all that stuff. And so we've been slowly doing that. And so Friday at Encrawl, and Brian went, oh, and he's my best man at the wedding, and he went, you might want to reschedule this year's Tolkien Moot, because the wedding's 4th of July. Tolkien Moot's the third Saturday of July. That doesn't allow much room for honeymoon and preparing Tolkien Moot. And we were talking about August, but of course August is both Spokon and Gen Con.
Right. So you
So
were
now we're
having
talking
going
September.
Gen Con, Spokon, Token Moot. Week.
Yeah. So I'm proposing that we bump for this will be the only time we do it. Now Tolkien Moot used to float all over the place until a few years ago. We finally locked it in, but it used to be different every year based on who could attend. I'm proposing that we bump Tolkien Moot to September, the 3rd Saturday of September. How does everybody feel about that?
What's wrong with the end of June?
Before?
Yeah.
June usually a lot of people are still getting out of school and things like that, and
Okay.
usually get really low numbers in June. I don't know what's going to happen in September. We haven't done it in September in a long time, but
Plus, he has to write the modules.
so I write a module that all the GMs run, which takes
Everybody
months
writes
of research.
the different systems.
What's the?
The theme this year, the previous year, each Tolkien Moot attendee votes. we picked the Fall of Gondolin and a special magic sword were the 2 tying topics, which works because Fall of Gondolin did involve like Glamdring and stuff like that. So I don't know if any of you are Tolkien fans and know about the Fall of Gondolin, the big battle of the Balrog and everything. It's pretty cool, and it's timed beautifully because what just came out a few months ago is the book, The Fall of Gondolin. Christopher Tolkien. This is his last book. No, really, this is his last book of his father's works. Because Christopher Tolkien's like 96 or something. He's in his 90s. But anyway, So that is for this year's theme, and Brian and I work on that, and then my son Drake has helped with some of the creative writing with it. It's a lot of work. It takes a lot of time.
Do you already get the book?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Have you
Well, if
listened
you
to
need
it?
I
some
already
backup
have a lot
writing
of
or
it.
editing, I'd be happy to help.
Read it?
That's-
Yes, great. Anybody wants to help. My hope is that in a year or two, we can take Tolkien Moot. You have to book it like a year or two out. I've always dreamed of running it here at the Bozarth Mansion, right, which can handle up to 100 people inside and up to 200 people outside, and also it has dorm rooms for like 46 people or so. But what you do is you get the whole facility. It's this 1912 Tudor style mansion, and has a full kitchen and everything, and it's a great place. Weddings are there all the time, and it's just up the street from here. It's pretty close. You get the whole weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. In fact, you can sometimes start coming on Thursday, but Friday, Saturday, Sunday. When I last was looking into it, it was $4,000. But if you were a 501c3, which we weren't at the time, it would have been half that. And it's owned by Gonzaga. So assuming it's still in that half range, that's something we might be able to do in a year or two. Now, once we get our GMs all trained up, probably the reason I didn't do it, I didn't have enough game masters to make it worthwhile.
I'll do AIM
But
next year.
as we've trained up everybody, and everybody can run Tolkien-based games of some kind, that starts to become a reality that we could handle maybe 100 players. So hopefully a year or 2 or 3 out, we can do that. And it would be back to being a 2 or 3 day thing instead of a 1 day thing. But that's still, once we get things smoothed out. So is that okay? September, third Saturday of September, we push Tolkien out too? Okay, so Brooke, if you want to make a note of that, remind me, because I kind of go on autopilot on some of these things. I think, well, I got to get ready for July for Tolkien Moot, and blah, blah, blah. Like, no, you got to get ready for the wedding. Oh yeah. So, yeah.
If you forget the wedding, you're fired. September
What's that, Brooke?
21st.
Oh, I really hope we don't have to remind you that you have a wedding.
No, I don't have trouble remembering the wedding, but it's the wedding and then Tolkien Moot right after that I don't always think about, but that's only a few weeks apart, and yeah, that would be bad. So I got to
The
remember to update
absent-minded
the
game master
website.
would definitely be a horror movie.
Yes.
You would be writing it there. Knowing you. You would be literally handing us pages.
Anyway, I want to get away from that. We'll keep improving. All right. Anything else on your list, Brooke?
No, that was it.
Okay. So next is on my list that you should know about the RPGSN, the Role Playing Gamers Social Network, rpgsn.net. I got it. It's part of why I'm scrambling today. I've got it up and running in our kind of beta testing mode now. So I will start sending each of you an invitation to join. It's invitation only. It's not open to the general public. You can go to the front page and there's a login, and that's about it. And this is a open source based combination. And I was noticing it was running a little slow.
My internet's not working at all today.
rpgsn.net. You got to put .net.
Oh,
So it's network.net, But you should have an email. For your email, you have to click the link in the email the first time to log in the first time. After that, you can use the front page login. But to initialize your account, click the link in your email, assuming it's behaving. Because I noticed when I was driving up here, it was not coming up. And then it did come up, but I think that was when John was resending the servers. Oh.
I'm having issues today.
I guess I need to
Oh
put a
yeah,
picture in there.
Virgin Mobile's redirecting me to something. It's just my phone
Okay.
provider.
So, Brooke, you should check that as well. I'll send you an invitation soon.
Okay.
The hope of this is it's our internal social network to help us all start to reconnect, because we're all scattered across different media, texting on our phones and email and Discord, and some of us are on actual social networks, and then others are only here at the meetings, and so we have almost 50 people, and nobody knows anybody else. I'm the only one who has at least some tally of who everybody is, and I want to try to get our community to be a community, even though about more than half of our people are scattered around the world, only about a quarter to a third. I'm not really sure how many exactly are here in Spokane. Could be half, but I'm not sure. So I want to try to bring all these different pieces together into one platform. We will still use our clone main website separately for research and our main website because it's so much more secure. It's a full text index. It's really great for research and all that. That's still going to run the same. But for everything, our communication with each other and trying to get to know each other, let's try to use this. And you don't have to worry about your privacy, right? It's not
You're
Facebook.
not going to sell our
Yeah, I'm not going to sell it, and there's no ads, and so it has all the features that people who do like these things on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, all of those sites, all those features are integrated on this platform. And you can turn on and off what you like and don't like. You can turn on the feeds that you want and don't want. You can bring in the feeds that you want from the other social networks, so you can just see it in your desktop right here instead of having to go log into 4 different sites. Again, some of this is theoretical. It says, well, it should do this. I have yet to fully test that out. Also, I do know it will feed from our Facebook and our Twitter feed into here. So a lot of people who don't want to use a Facebook account for good reason miss all of our announcements when it's on Facebook or Twitter. If they're, at least we'll use this social network, which you can set up to send you email reminders if you want to. It'll all be in one place, and so if you're, at least then you have the opportunity to stay in the loop. It might end up being too much white noise. I don't know. A lot of stuff. The good thing is, since we own it and control it, it's on a server here in the house. We can adjust it. If you guys say, this is too much, it's too much information, I need it to be narrowed down, we can start flipping the bits until we find something that's a happy medium. Mm-hmm. It is all short of a hacker getting in. It's totally private. And now we don't put anything HIPAA on this. This is not HIPAA client info. This is all just about us. This is not where we do our HR accounting stuff or any of that. That is a separate secure system. But all of the training, the internal training, all of the processes, the videos, all those things, I'm going to try to get all of that here. And it has a feature of, it can email you on a schedule your training that can say, this week we're covering this topic. Here's the class to take. Here you can read your email. Here's the links that you need to go watch. And it can be set up on an automatic schedule. So when you join as a new member, if I understand it correctly, each week you can get your training metered out automatically. I don't have to manually send you that stuff as new people come on board, and just do a little bit each week.
New things on RPG.
Right. And I'm not sure how well it works, but that's one feature that this particular platform has.
So my question with the platform is, have we discussed if we wanted to release it to like Patreon supporters at a certain point? Or
We will. I think higher level Patreon supporters, that should be a bonus.
Okay.
Like our $25 a month ones. I think that's a nice feature.
And how about people who are using RPG education?
Right. Well, basically anybody who is a partner, volunteer. So I was talking this morning to the people timed to Tabletop in Sacramento today. I talked to them for about an hour. And they're doing a bunch of stuff with schools and education and role-playing gaming. Very excited. And we had talked to PAX, and they've got she's working on her doctoral dissertation on. She's a therapist, doing a study on personalities, development of personalities, developmental psychologist, and a study on personality development and how role-playing games affect that. And she's coming in from somebody who has some gaming background but doesn't know anything else. And so I was giving her all these resources that she didn't know about that will be very helpful. They would love to be part of this network, right, so that they're in the loop for the training. I suggested she may actually want to join as a volunteer or join the researchers group, because we have people from bachelor's to PhD on the research group. Yeah, we got our sashes. What color is yours?
It's yellow.
There you go.
I think I'm almost purple though.
No, you got several more before you get to purple.
Or is
you have to do over 2,000 for purple.
I found a thing
you might be green.
at
I'm Ensign
SpokeCon
Johnson.
last year.
Yeah.
Or no, this year, right? And when we went to SpokeCon, I was at 7 or 8
No,
hours.
it's
Okay, so you're in the
red
green.
shirt freshman.
I'm in the green.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
yellow
I
going
love
into
this.
green. You're yellow going into
Security.
yeah. Yellow going into green. So if you're 0 to 99 or 1 to 99 hours, you're a red shirt / red sash. This is a paranoia reference for Roy G. Biv color rankings. It's just showing how many hours people have done. That's about all it shows. So 0 to 99 is red. Then we have orange from about 100 to 250, yellow from 250 to 500, green from about 500 to 750, I think, etc. Until you get to about 2,000 plus, then it's violet. And then above that would be ultraviolet, which I guess would be me, the high programmer. But so that's where I wear it. I have the black light with a white shirt that says "Trust the computer."
So you need a white.
We know how well that worked out.
And you and me need custom.
Yeah, I know.
Material.
That's all I've been able to find.
Oh, no,
There
that's
weren't much
fine.
choices.
I
So,
have a sewing
and then
machine.
as you do your diplomas, as you get your check off your list on your training, it'll be just like merit badges for Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, etc. And you can decorate the heck out of it if you want. Somebody's like, "Can I put stuff
Flair.
on it?" I'm like, "Yeah, go ahead." I'm not going to mandate it. We are not mandating flair in any way, shape, or form. It is
13
only if
pieces.
you want to. Yeah. No,
At
about
least
the
13.
TTS
At
reports.
least
Yeah.
13.
Yeah.
Well, you're
None of
going to
that.
be your
This is just a fun thing. It's
We're gonna get
Yeah.
like 13
Yeah.
on there.
happiness is not mandatory, but it is a way for people to kind of have a feel for where they're at and things as we keep growing as an organization. The idea is just to be fun. There's no requirements here, but a lot of people were asking for some way to kind of know who's where in experience and who to go to. So
We need to
anyway,
craft together.
so the rpgsn.net, you'll each get an invite to try it out. We're in the early beta testing. It has no content, but it has a lot of features, so play with them. Like you'll see, I did little tests of everything. I did a test FAQ, I did a test blog, I did a test newsletter, it's supposed to have like all these different feeds.
So you want us to go in and try and break it?
Yeah.
Don't try to break it, but try to use
Beta
it.
test it.
Yes, but
Jump on every corner.
there is a ticketing system. I have no idea how it works either, but it's built into it.
Alright.
You can do likes and potentially dislikes. You can do favoriting. You can do sharing. You can do ratings, 5-star ratings. There's a whole bunch of features there. As I said, it's kind of an amalgamation. I kind of turned everything on from all of the options, and we'll see what happens. And we'll go like, that's just too much. Okay, we'll turn that off. It's
You don't
modular.
use this feature.
Yeah.
Can we turn that off?
Exactly. It has forum features. It has real-time chat that you can pull out from it. And it's not real obvious. It's down the side. There's a little chat box thing, a little bubble. You got to click it, and then it pops out. Otherwise, you don't know.
Is there an app for this?
I did get the mobile plugin, so I haven't tried it yet.
Okay.
But in theory,
In theory. Okay.
That would be cool.
I got my TP K counter going.
yes, John needs the TPK because he's the killer GM. So hopefully this will help us get more connected again now that we've grown so much.
You also need
18
spiders.
months ago, we were at volunteer number 6 or so. We are at 48
And
in just 18 months. And I have half a dozen more applicants in the queue this week. So
Yay.
you're welcome.
Ish.
we weren't supposed to get to 50 till summer. At some point here, I'm going to have to go, okay,
You need
we need to turn off the volunteer form for a little while and stabilize. But some of the we need more GMs, we need more player archetype specialists, and I need more help with like the web and social networking and all that. So for now, I'm just leaving the spigot on and trying to keep up. At least I'm not like months behind like before.
Yeah, that was painful.
You just need somebody who has your brain to be able to get people on. Wording.
That's a double-edged sword. He said somebody has my brain. That's
Yeah.
a double-edged
Just
sword.
get your personal assistant,
Yeah.
professional assistant.
So, Brooke, we also have the go-ahead. We're talking again to the principal of Eagle Peak Schools next Tuesday afternoon.
They're the ones
So
that
that's
shut
coming
us down,
along.
right? Who
What?
just like stopped talking to us?
No, they didn't
Oh,
stop
okay.
talking to us.
You're talking about Hutton Settlement.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't stop talking to us. They said, no, we don't do that kind of activity here because some older folks who were misled by the 80s paranoia.
They haven't read the polling report.
Yeah, believe that gaming is evil, the people on the board. So that's something. But that's not a settlement. That's completed. And that's years back. So that's about 2 years back now.
Okay, my brain for some reason.
Sure,
pulled it up as
no
that.
problem. Yeah, no, this is Spokane Public School District. alternative school up on the South Hill. Well, we did the presentation. Weren't you there or no?
No, I
oh
was
no,
not
Brooke
able
was
to.
there. It was Brooke, John, and I, right? That's right. Okay. So that's continuing along. They really want to get that rolling, but it's going to take time to get through all the paperwork. That is being handed off to the LLC side because they want to do it every week, and we can't count on volunteers with that. We burn through our volunteers too quickly. So that's on the paid GM side, but we're continuing that, so that's good news. The thing with the prisons is underway. Now, an interesting thing that Elizabeth says, supposedly, and John, maybe you can help with this when you go to Spokane board meeting, she's claiming, so she claims from an email today that prisons cannot accept book donations directly unless it's straight from the publisher.
Huh.
Which is bizarre. I have never heard that before. She's saying she's talked to Paizo and they're willing to donate a bunch of books to a 501c3 nonprofit, which could be us, to give to the prisons. So the prisons, they're saying it has to come from a nonprofit, but so I've emailed her back saying I think you've got your wires crossed so I looked up the American Library Association and prisons. And they've listed several different organizations that get books all the time. They're saying give us your yellow page books and stuff. So I think she's getting maybe San Francisco, maybe that's because that's the prison department she's working with. Maybe they do have some wacky policy because it's San Francisco. Maybe they do have some weird policy. Brooke, do you know something?
I have a friend who supports the Books to Prisoners nonprofit.
Yes.
in Spokane.
Okay. Can you connect with that person?
Yeah.
And find out what you can find out on that, because we're going to be in February. We're going to be ramping up, trying to run programs at the prisons and such, and talking to the prisons.
I can't imagine a prison wouldn't accept a used book.
It's
really
bizarre.
weird.
They specifically send books to prisoners,
Right.
as they would imply.
Yeah. Now when I last worked at the Department of Corrections, that was back in the 80s and 90s, and there were donations all the time. That was in Utah.
Right.
So I don't know what wacky stuff might be going on here in Washington and California nowadays, but so I emailed her back with a link and said, let's delve into this a little more because that doesn't sound right. So, but this is happening.
Are we looking at anybody besides Piazza to donate books?
She's talking to multiple organizations.
Okay.
I can't go into too much detail.
Understood.
I'm kind of pushing it as is. Kickstarter's right on the corner.
I do know that one of the issues that the majority of prisons will not allow dice because that can foster
the gambling.
But that's an easy thing to get around.
But most prisons still ban the role-playing game books. A few have loosened up and allow you to have the books to read, but you can't play. So that's what they've done. And a smaller few have allowed play under different circumstances. Some has to be supervised. Others, they allow them to self-supervise. So she's been following this for about 10 years, doing documentaries in San Francisco and stuff. So the documentary on Vice that we saw previously, that's all her.
Right.
Both the printed and the video is her stuff. So that's happening this year.
Read the modern studies and find out the great. Well, anyway.
Well, the first thing the DOC,
the
first thing the DOC says, we'll do. Is there any precedent for this? And I'm like, well, we're trying. It's kind of a chicken and the egg thing, but we're getting there. I'm hoping 2019 is when we really turn this around.
There is precedent of rec therapy in prisons. So.
Yeah, well, and Emily, who's on our board, who's the head of the TR department, Therapeutic Recreation Department at Eastern Washington University, her dissertation was on recreation therapy with prisoners in Florida. So she has a lot of experience working with the Department of Corrections. Awesome. She'll be able to help us as we do our programs. So that's coming along, and that's going to be on the RPG research side initially, right? That's going to be, whenever we try to break new ground, we do that on the RPG research side because we get a little more leeway of, well, we're volunteers and we're trying this out, and it's, be kind. And then once it's and then if they want it to become a regular service, that's when we go, okay, well, then go talk to some other professional services instead. So that's this year, that's going to be a big part of our energy. So that hopefully by next year we can go speak at the Department of Corrections convention about
like the
what we find.
APAC or something.
Yeah, the American Prison Association or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, or in corrections,
I don't know. That was like a weird name, and then the acronym didn't actually fit it, so
Okay.
it's like they changed it, but they didn't want to change the acronym.
Okay, so all this stuff, we're going to start trying to funnel into our RPGSN, so that everybody starts to be in the loop as we do these things. So one place instead of 9. We'll see how it works. But as you get your invitation, make sure you click the link that it says to go to. If you just go to rpgsn.net and try to log in, and for some reason that doesn't work the first time, there's some initialization cookie. You got to click the link, log in there, change the password, whatever. Then after that, you can log in from the front page as you need to. That's what I found so far. And then let's see if we can get conversations going and see if we can, get everybody to get to know each other. Add your profile pics, things like that. You'll be able to upload photos, folders, and files, and all of those things. And again, it's a private network. It's not publicly accessible. You do have the option, though, if you want to make your profile or a folder public, you can have that ability for your specific content if you wish to. So if you want to do a blog posting that you would like to be out there in public, it should be able to make that possible. So there can be public content on a case-by-case basis if you wish to.
Okay.
I have a question about
In theory.
that part.
Mm-hmm.
Is if we make it public, would it then be able to be put onto our regular website?
That's what I would do. Is I have a feed that just replicates it to the rpgresearch.com website or something.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. Because if
there'll
you
be-
write the public
Yeah.
blog, then
Yeah,
you might
as
as well.
Exactly. Get that as well. So, but we'll get there. First, just focus on this, and worry about adding layers of complexity later. This has a lot of features that we're going to have to just learn. And again, I hate that it's PHP. That's why it's not public. The programming language is notoriously insecure, but if we keep it internal, hopefully that will keep us relatively okay. It's when you make all that stuff public that then people can get to hammer away at it, and all sorts of bad things happen. I do have the SSL certificate up and running through thanks to Electronic Frontier Foundation, with so it's over SSL and all
I
that.
just
So.
heard a podcast about Simon.
I've been supporting them. Well, and so the Electronic Frontier Foundation, if you've never supported them, consider it, EFF.org. They were started because of role-playing gaming.
Yep.
Did you know that?
I did.
Because of what happened to Steve Jackson Games and Cyberpunk. The FBI raided their offices and took all of their computers and all their content for like 6 months because some anonymous person or somebody on an axe to grind claimed that they were training people to hack.
Oh.
And it was all Cyberpunk role-playing game, which had nothing to do with that. And they all just about went out of business because of it. But luckily, they had been sending emails out of drafts of the books that they were working on. So a lot of people sent back their copies, and that kept them in business. When they got back the servers or computers, they were all wiped. The FBI scrubbed them all. So that was when they went, this was a complete abuse of power. We need something to do, protect us. And that's when it eventually led to the formation of Electronic Frontier Foundation. So it came from role-playing gaming. All right. Got something. Okay. Oh. Good luck on that. All right. So remember, Jitsi is going to move over to meet.rpgresearch.com. So keep using C4 until it stops working, until it blows up. But remember, meet.rpgresearch.com/rpgresearch will be where it all moves to eventually. Now, again, all of that I will hopefully have in the RPGSN to say, go here now. I'll eventually try to make it so that all your links are right there and try to get it all in one place. We'll see. Anything else? I think... Anything you can think of? So Brooke, did you hear my conversation about warehouses?
A little bit, yeah.
So I found a few warehouses this week that were in the 600 to 700 a month range that were around 2,000 square feet. That included an office around 500, 700 square feet of that space. Still waiting to hear back if they have 12-foot doors or not that could fit the trailer, because they need to fit the bus and trailer. None of them are heated warehouses, though, but the offices might be. So hopefully I can find a place and make that happen sometime in the next few months. And then that's where we would probably move things to. I'd have to get infrastructure moved over there and everything, but we'll see. And I think
North
that's...
Spokane Library Friday.
Yeah, we cover, North Spokane County Library on Hawthorne, just east of Division. Drop in an RPG, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m., open to the public. So please do drop in for that. And yeah, I think that's everything for this week, Brooke. All right. Thank you very much. And we'll talk to you next week. And we'll hopefully talk to you online on the social network.
Yeah, hopefully.
All right. Take care.
Hey, bye guys.
All right. So coming up right here on RPG Research, twitch.tv/RPG Research, we are continuing part 2 of Doctor Who role-playing game with GM Carla. Woo! So last year, end of last year, while I was out of town at PAX Unplugged, you guys started to get a feel for Doctor Who because we're evaluating it as one of our regular systems for our Game Master training because of the behavior modification potential built into it. Started the evaluation of it, and now we're continuing that. Thank you so much, Carla, for making it. Really appreciate it. Can you go ahead and give us a little rundown about the game, a little bit of your background? So first start a little bit of your background, then a little bit about what you like about the game and such, and then we'll talk about where you were in the adventure, and you'll have to throw me a character that's not being used. So,
Did you watch it?
I did not have time. Sorry.
And then we'll do a recap of what happened last week.
Yes, you'll do that
Last
too.
week.
Yeah, last year. So let me just before you, I'm going to stop and start recording. We'll be right